Welcome to the Scottish Basketball Podcast. In this episode, I look ahead to the 3x3 basketball tournaments at the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow with senior men's head coach Gareth Murray.
I'm delighted to welcome Gareth to the podcast. Hi, Gareth.
Hi there, how are you?
Good, thank you. Thanks for coming on and chatting about the men's team ahead of the Commonwealth Games. Maybe you could just start us off chatting about how the squad came together and I suppose what's the preparation been like from selection up until now?
Yeah, it's been a process that we kind of started last summertime. We knew obviously the Commonwealth Games was coming up, it was going to be in Glasgow. 3x3 was going to be involved, so it's a process. It's not just a couple of weeks process. It's been 18 months, almost 2 years in the works to try to put everything together. With being at home games, it's quite exciting for everybody. Obviously, lots of people want to be involved with it. The process that we went with is maybe not normal for selecting teams. It's not always easy with the procedures that are put in place for these things. So last summer we had a small training camp. We had some guys come in, some we knew already, some we didn't, and we started the process from there. And then this year it was a difficult process where we have to select our players actually before we see them in camp, which is not a normal process that that's for selecting teams. So it's not easy to get the selections right all the time. But so far, I think we've done well with the players that we have selected. We can name 4 players and then 2 reserves as well. So we've had those guys in camp since the 1st of July. We had a Team Scotland camp on the 1st of July, and then the Basketball Scotland camp was in with all the players was starting the 3rd of July, and we were in Glasgow, East Kilbride to start with at Play Sport, and then we headed over to Serbia this last week, where we had a good training camp with some Serbian coaches. We got to play against some Serbian players, the guys that are playing 3x3 on the tour. We got some advice from them. We got to play against some of these guys. So far it's been very good training camp, trying to get everybody in shape, trying to get people up to the speed with 3x3, which is a very different game to the 5-on-5, which all these guys are playing. So there's things that really helped us being in Serbia. I think that was a big thing, was the guys that are playing 3x3 are giving us some tips. The coaches that are around the 3x3 every day are giving us some information on how the game is played. It's the tactics that are being used these days. Like when you just watch 3-on-3, you're kind of just watching. You just think people are just running around, but there's actually quite a lot of tactics involved with it now, like when to give up 2-point shots, when to give up 1-point shots, how to screen. So it's more than just about running around, which I feel that kind of changed from 4 years ago when we were involved in Birmingham.
You mentioned it there about sort of the different tactical approach. Like, I suppose, is there one major change from 3x3 you think the biggest change, that the sort of the demands on decision making and shot selection versus the 5x5 game, which obviously the guys are coming from?
Yeah, I think what I noticed more so from 4 years ago with the 3x3 is that it's more physical. It's a lot more physical. They're learning a lot more contact. That doesn't mean like holding and grabbing. It means just like there's more bumping. There's more contact involved. It's a lot faster now. I think the people have understood how to play, and teams have come up with tactics how to play in certain situations, and so it's a lot faster, a lot more physical. I think people they're just understanding how to play it, and there's like lots of different things. Like the more you play it, the more things people pick up. The more the coaches start to pass on information. The more players are playing it, they start to pass on the information to other people, and it just trickles down like that. So, and there's a lot more people playing it now. So I think it's just there's lots of different things that have added.
You mentioned there as well about the physical demand, obviously, the strength that's required, the physicality, the speed. Like, how do you rate where the group is conditioning wise? Are there any injuries heading into the tournament, or how does the sort of load management change with the sort of different schedule? Sort of shorter games, more games in a condensed period.
No, the guys came in good shape. They finished their season middle of May, beginning of May, around about this time. Most of them, so they've kept themselves in good shape, and they were working with our S&C coach Stephen Bird as well. So these guys are in shape. They're in good shape. Their bodies are holding up with the demand of 3x3. It's just about getting the tactics and the understanding of the game, because these guys are almost not starting from scratch, but they're starting from rain. It's not a natural move from 5v5 to 3-on-3 right after the season. A lot of these teams that we were playing against, they're playing it all year round, or at least 6 or 7 months of the year. So they're used to this kind of demand and the speed of the game and the decision making. So it's just adapting to it. But in terms of the fitness and conditioning, everybody's in good shape. A couple of niggles and things like that happen with the 3-8s. Like I say, it's very physical and a lot of contact. So the normal type of things, but everything good so far.
Great to hear. In terms of coaching this group, I suppose what's maybe the single biggest thing that the switch to 3x3 has taught you about the way you coach the game as a 5x5 coach? And I suppose is there one habit that you've had to sort of temporarily unlearn for this period before you head back into 5x5 next season?
I don't think there's something that I've really had to change. Like being involved with it 4 years ago, still watching it like regular on TV. It's not like I never stopped watching the 3x3. I kind of understand the rules of it. It was just more emphasis on certain things for me, I guess. Like, and there was a couple of guys that had never played like proper 3x3 before, so it was like almost starting from scratch. Like you're building up the fundamentals of the game, how you actually play 3x3. It was then it was about the demand of like the physicality, so the fitness part is quite important of it as well. And then it starts to work on more of the tactics once we understand the how to play. So there's like a few layers and few things that need to go in place before we can start talking about the tactics. Instead of guys that are regularly playing 3x3 and they're just like straight into it, and then we can talk about the tactics. So we're almost starting from zero and building our way up. And obviously, Kyle and Fraser had played before. We had Seth Wiley, who's in the camp in the reserve. So these guys have got some experience in the 3x3, and the 5v5 difference is like you got to play with contact all the time. There's a lot more playing with contact, staying on someone's hip, and 5v5 there's more space where your teammates can help you. Where the 3x3 there's not as much space and the ball can just be thrown in an area, and it's a lot easier for you to finish. Like there's just so much space for guys to play, and it's a lot less with our group anyway, one-on-one. Especially we noticed that in Serbia. Serbia is also about team basketball, and we've known that they're never really like, I don't want to disrespect, but they're never like super individual talent. They're very much team orientated, how to play pick and roll, the angles of screens, and how to make the pass and how to roll. So that was one thing that was really good for us. And we're not just going to try to rely on like having to beat somebody with our speed or physicality. It was more about the little tactical things that once we had, like I said, the understanding of how to play 3x3, the fitness part, the physicality, and now we can start talking about tactics more, which we've been leaning into in the last few days.
Mentioned there about sort of people who had played 3x3, people who are new to it, but obviously playing at a high level last season. I suppose how has team chemistry developed? I suppose is there still work left to do before the start of the competition? And I suppose the guys who are new to it, like how have they enjoyed it? Have they told you how much or not they've enjoyed it? And I suppose how's that sort of melting pot of a relatively small group, but obviously trying to build a really cohesive group going into the tournament?
Yeah, I think the chemistry has been good. We've had 6 guys in the everyday practice. We had 2 other guys that were kind of coming in for training play. So the chemistry of the team is no problems at all. It's just like learning like small things that you can get from each other when you're playing, like the eye contact and reading each other. I think this is something that it's difficult to pick up within 10 days, 12 days practices, but obviously Fraser and Kyle have played together before, and so you're adding in like Owen and Skylar into that mix. So they're just trying to read off each other, and that's not something that's happens quickly. So no, overall the chemistry has been good. The guys are enjoying playing 3x3. It's not like, oh man, we got to go play, we got to do this. They really enjoy playing it. It's a fun game. They're picking up like the small tactics that we're working on. Their understanding of the concepts that we're trying to do has been good. So overall, I think the guys are enjoying it. It's obviously more physically demanding, so we're like pushing them. It's not been an easy training camp. We're really like pushing them to almost to the max. We know we're like 9-10 days out of the start of the Commonwealth Games. So this last week in Serbia has been really pushing them quite intense physically.
I suppose looking at how the preparation's gone, the group that you have, even looking ahead to the schedule of the group stages and a sort of potential path through the competition, what do you think is a realistic target for the men in these games? And I suppose what does a successful tournament look like to you?
Um, the group we have is a couple of teams that we know obviously well. They're on the world tour. They're playing in competitions regularly. And when I talk about that, I'm talking about New Zealand and Australia. These guys are really on the tour. Very similar. Maybe they'll make one or two changes throughout the 3x3 season. But these guys we know how they play. We know what they want. Like, for instance, New Zealand's a 2-point shooting team. They want to shoot twos. They play quickly. They want to get 2-point shots up. Whereas a team like Australia are really physical. They have 2-point shooters, but they're very, very physical, and they share the ball. It's not necessarily just 2-pointers they're going for. The other ones after that is a little unknown for us. The Cayman Islands, it's difficult to find some scout or video of them. The same in Nigeria. They've announced their teams now, but it's difficult to find some video and how they play and how their makeup of their team is, and the same with Guyana. It's difficult to find some information on them. So in that regard, we hope that we have that experience from 2022. We hope that this training camp has set us up nicely to try to at least minimum for us, we have to finish third in the group to continue in the competition. So we hopefully have enough to do that. After that, it depends who we get in the crossover. We don't know. Also, that other teams in the other group, we played against Singapore while we were in Serbia. They were at training camp, and so we know a little bit about them. We know England, obviously. We know these guys are some 5v5 and now playing the 3x3 full time. There's a couple other teams that, like the Malaysia team, are playing this quite regular on the tour as well. So there's some other teams that we know a little bit about, but again, it depends who we get on the crossover. In terms of expectations, again, we want to get out the group stages. Can we shock a New Zealand or Australia? It's possible. It's 3x3. It's a very you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. So can we shock one of these teams and maybe get a second place or a first place? I'm not too sure, but no, the goal is to get out the group. The overall goal is to win a medal. This is what we want to do. We want to win the medal. How we go through that path, I'm not too sure. It's about what happens in the crossover. But yeah, this is the goal is to win a medal overall.
Having pulled on a Scotland jersey at the last Commonwealth Games, I suppose maybe slightly different as a coach now, but what does it mean to be working with and representing Scotland at home games in Glasgow? And I suppose what does that mean to you personally?
Yeah, it's I'm obviously happy to be coaching the 3x3. Is, like you say, is very different to the 5v5 game, because you have so much influence in a 5v5 game with the timeouts, being with your team all the time. So it's very much me trying to give all the information to the guys before they step on the court. So once they step on the court, it's all up to them. There's nothing really much more I can do during the game. So we have to, for me, it's like doing a lot of work before the game actually starts with the scout and getting my information over to these guys before the game. And it's a different role from the 3x3 that I did previously at the 2022, So obviously I'm very happy to be the head coach for the 3x3. It's something that I've been want to coach Scotland, obviously. The 3x3 is the format that we're playing. I've been around the 3x3 now for 5-6 years. I did the Great Britain under 18s probably 2 years before Birmingham 2022. So I've been around it and I'm watching it. It's not like I'm just fully into 5v5, so this will be my 4th Commonwealth Games. 3 as a player, obviously, and the other one was a player coach and now the head coach. So yeah, I'm very happy, and I'm don't get to quite put the jersey on, but I'm still very much part of it.
Is there one particular moment across the 5 days of the tournament that you're most looking forward to?
It's hard to say right now. I obviously want to say, yeah, I'm going to look forward to when we win a medal, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. No, I think every opportunity to work with these guys and to represent Scotland, especially like you say in the home games in Glasgow. I think it's going to be a great tournament with 12 teams involved. It's really ramped up the level of involvement of other countries as well. I think before it was with the 8 teams, it was good, but I think 12 really shows the level of how good 3x3 can be across these smaller countries as well. Like Scotland, we're not a big country in terms of participants in basketball, so 3x3 is a good sport that we can really focus on, and that for this year and for the future. So I think it's going to be a good tournament, and every day is going to probably bring something different for us.
Obviously, as head coach in the 3x3, you're going to be sitting in the crowd yourself, but I suppose maybe just a word to who's supporting you off the court through the competition, and I suppose who you personally representing in your role as head coach.
Just for me, it's always been about like just representing your country and showing your best that you can do. Like I never thought growing up, I played for under 16, under 18s, and eventually got to seniors in 2006. It was always about seeing like how far I could go in basketball. The same now with my coaching. Like I want to see what level I can get to. Can I keep moving up? So for me, it's always been about like, can you represent your country anytime you can? And we hope that the fans will come out and appreciate the guys making the effort and fighting to try to show what Scotland and what 3x3 basketball is, and hopefully we can get the crowd behind us, being at home, and it's going to be a great atmosphere for the guys to play in front of. 3x3 is always exciting anyway, but we hope it could be more exciting for the guys to get behind them, and hopefully the fans, I know they will be there and cheering for the guys.
It's a nicely into my final question. Yeah, I was just going to ask you, beyond any results, obviously we hope to get as far in the competition as possible, but I suppose to a first-time 3x3 viewer, attendee, or even a first-time basketball viewer, I suppose what would you like them to take away from watching Scotland play in a basketball tournament at home games?
I think the biggest thing is the fighting spirit. Like guys that like never putting their head down, always just going to give their maximum effort every day. And the guys, like, no matter what happens, like people will be looking at them and be like, "Wow, these guys gave everything they had." Like full effort, maximum effort. That's something that we've really talked about, is the energy, what you have to play with 3x3, and hopefully that translates onto the court. And usually when you play as hard as you can and you give your maximum effort, good things happen. And I hope the fans will appreciate the effort that the guys make to represent their country, their families, and try to win a medal for basketball.
Gareth, thank you very much for your time, and best of luck with the competition.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Scottish Basketball Podcast. If you liked this episode, share it with a friend who you think would like it too. We post weekly episodes on the senior game in Scotland. You can join for free on Patreon, Spotify and YouTube to receive a notification when new episodes are released. Access to the podcast episodes will always be free. You can, however, make a contribution for yourself or for someone else as a gift through membership on Patreon. However small and infrequent, any contribution is very helpful and very much appreciated. You can get in touch with the podcast by sending us a message on Instagram or an email. Join us again soon for another episode. Goodbye.